Let's go. I got a vision I see in my head, a melody buried deep into my soul. They call us crazy, we cutting the edge, unlocking the future and letting it go. This is a calling that's higher. The time we decided our stories are gonna be told. This is where legends are born. We paving the road, a future that favors the bold. Break the rules, break the laws. This is the moment we change it all. Break the rules, break the laws. This is the moment we change it all. Yeah, greatness. Yeah, it feels like greatness. Woo! Greatness, yeah, it feels like greatness. Legendary in the making. Reach out and we take it. About to emerge, we on the verge, and it feels like greatness. Something coming, I can feel it. Deep down in my spirit. Revolution, it's a new day. Time to redefine the limits. So vivid, I can see it. So loud, I can hear it. So they calling me a madman, but the future belongs to the fearless. Break the rules, break the laws. This is the moment we change it all. Break the rules, break the laws. This is the moment we change it all. Yeah, greatness. Yeah, it feels like greatness. Woo! Greatness. Yeah, it feels like greatness. Legendary in the making. Reach out and we take it. About to emerge, we on the verge, and it feels like greatness. Greatness. Yeah, it feels like greatness. Woo! Greatness. Yeah, it feels like greatness. Legendary in the making. Reach out and we take it. About to emerge, we on the verge, and it feels like greatness. This is the truth, into the light. Taking our dreams and we bring them to life. This is the truth, into the light. Taking our dreams and we bring them to life. Yeah, greatness. Yeah, it feels like greatness. Woo! Greatness. Yeah, it feels like greatness. Legendary in the making. Reach out and we take it. About to emerge, we on the verge, and it feels like greatness. We about to set the tone. We about to write the code. Yeah, we writing the code. Yeah. We on a new elevation. We came here to shatter the mold. We gon' shatter the mold. Yeah. We about to set the tone. We about to write the code. Yeah, we writing the code. Yeah. We on a new elevation. We came here to shatter the mold. Yeah. I know you hear it. I know you see it. We are the fearless. We are the genius. We are defiance. We are the beacons. We are the true believers. Yeah. Greatness. Yeah, it feels like greatness. Woo! Greatness, yeah, it feels like greatness. Legendary in the making. Reach out and we take it. About to emerge, we on the verge, and it feels like greatness. Yeah. Woo. Greatness.
Red alert, John, shine a light down. On the front lines of my mind now. Riding my time on
you smell what The Rock is cooking? The Rock says, The Rock says, The Rock says, The Rock.
I hear voices in my head, they counsel me, they understand, they talk to me. You got your rules and your religion, all designed to keep you safe. But when rules start getting broken, you start questioning your faith. I have a voice that is my savior, hates to love and loves to hate. I have a voice that has the knowledge and the power to your fate. I hear voices crying, I see heroes dying, I taste blood that's trying, I feel tension rising. I hear voices in my head, they counsel me, they understand, they talk to me, they talk to me.
Hello and welcome to a WWE Wrestling Talk Show with Lisa Jones and
Sean Randy Smith will bring you our reactions to the biggest party of the summer, known as SummerSlam, which came from Detroit, Michigan at Ford Field in front of 59,194 of the WWE Universe.
this year's SummerSlam presented 8 matches, although a 9th one was chucked in there, but we'll get to that when we need to.
Yes, we'll start off with our opening match, which was between a YouTuber, Logan Paul, and Ricochet.
This match was set up back at Money in the Bank and was a bit of a high-flying contest.
As it was predicted to be.
Big moves hit over the course of a match. Some back and forth action as expected. But let's just say there was a bit of a, how do I say this kindly?
Yes.
A bit of a sneaky option, I would say, is at the end, because towards the end of the match, Ricochet was going for the 450, is it?
The 630 senton, yeah.
630. Logan Paul moved.
He did.
And then someone who we didn't see the identity of, decided to give Logan Paul a pair of brass knucks.
Which Logan Paul used behind the referee's back, whacking Ricochet in the skull with the one lucky shot.
And got the 1, 2, 3. Safe to say that Samantha Ivan, who was of course the ring announcer,
And fiance of Ricochet
did not take too kindly to this, and especially the fact that during the match I kept cutting to her as well.
Yeah. Which I think means that this rivalry is far from over.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did the rematch, but also I can understand why they gave Logan Paul the win when he hasn't won his matches, conveniently enough, since last year's SummerSlam. Having
And now,
lost to the tribal chief in Saudi Arabia, Seth Rollins, the Royal Rumble match, Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, and Money in the Bank.
so now we move on to our second match, which was between the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, and
The Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar.
oh Jesus, in a match they're calling Cody versus Lesnar 3.
Which it was. Now, I will admit, I was surprised when this was presented as a second match.
Considering what was to come later in the night, I think we can understand why it was second on.
Cody tried to get an early advantage by basically jumping Lesnar.
Yeah.
That didn't last long because Cody would take a little bit of a trip to a place called Suplex City.
Resident, quite a few at this point.
But then they spent a good, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes or so, repeating a path over and over again when it looked like Brock Lesnar was trying to get a count-out victory. We had where he threw Cody to the outside.
Ouch.
Then once Cody got back into the ring, he F5'd Cody on the outside.
Again, double ouch.
Then Cody got back in again. Then he F5'd Cody through the announce table.
Triple ouch.
And then after a while, I think Lesnar realized he wasn't going to be able to get that victory, so decided to leave it. And I don't know why, but towards this area, we had Cody managed to get Lesnar's body into the ring post. And then, right in front of the referee, he was able to hit Lesnar with steel steps. Now, in usual situations, I think that would be classed as a disqualification.
But for some reason, on this occasion, it wasn't.
I think the referee was allowing a lot of leeway.
Yes, especially when it's a big match of this caliber.
So after that, they get back into the ring. Cody hits the disaster kick.
He does.
Lesnar stays on his feet but stumbles. Then we have the Cody Cutter hit. Then he hits another Cody Cutter from the top rope. Goes for the cover, but Lesnar kicks out. An attempted crossroads is counter into the Kimura. which Cody manages to get out of. Then Lesnar gets himself into an exposed turnbuckle. And then Cody decides says, "You want to do a Kimura Rock? Well, I can do one too."
Pretty much fighting fire with fire at this point.
But Lesnar managed to just get out of that one. Goes for an F5. But that is counted into not one, not two, but three Cody Crossroads, allowing Cody Rhodes to pick up the 3 count and ultimately win this 2 matches to 1.
Now, something interesting would happen at the end of the match.
Yes, not something we see Brock Lesnar do very often.
Which is?
Well, to put it simply, Brock Lesnar decided he would acknowledge Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, that's what happened. So apparently that was unscripted, apparently, Lesnar acknowledging a certain American nightmare. Now, we're going to move on to something that you would normally see at WrestleMania, a Battle Royal.
A 25-man Slim Jim sponsored Battle Royal.
In which we had...
Well, what we'll do here, because it's going to be a pain in the ass otherwise, is go through the order of elimination.
So first to be eliminated was Apollo Crews.
Then we had J.D. McDowell, who played an important role on Raw.
Rick Boogs was then eliminated.
Then was Otis.
Then Eric and Ivar were eliminated.
Followed by Shinsuke Nakamura.
Followed by Tommaso Ciampa.
Followed by Cameron Grimes.
Followed by the United States champion Austin Theory.
Followed by his challenger tomorrow night, Santos Escobar.
Giovanni Vinci and Ludwig Kaiser were next to be eliminated.
Then was Rich Holland and Butch.
Matt Riddle and Omos were eliminated.
Then was The Miz.
Then Grayson Waller and Karrion Kross.
Then Chad Gable was gone.
Bronson Reed was then eliminated.
Which left AJ Styles, LA Knight, and Sheamus.
Yes.
So AJ Styles was eliminated, which left Sheamus and LA Knight. Going into this, I think it was pretty obvious who was going to win.
Yeah, it was.
And it seems like they've started the push for The Rock 2.0.
You need to start looking out, to be honest.
AKA LA Knight. So next we went on to the MMA rules match between Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler.
Yeah.
There's not really a lot to say here because apart from the crowd wasn't really into this.
Yes, and considering there's been rumours about the outcome of this match.
Yes, and this was a bit of a slightly hard-hitting match because with the MMA rules,
Yes.
it was basically UFC and WWE.
Where the only way you could win was by submission, knockout, or referee stoppage.
So Rousey and Baszler really went at each other, which you could see via the after effects of on Monday's Raw when Shayna Baszler came out.
Yep.
But after about 7.5 minutes, Shayna Baszler managed to catch Ronda Rousey in the
Kimura lock, or the Kokina clutch, as it were.
yeah. Since when did Shayna do the Kimura lock? You mean the Kokina clutch?
I mean, MMA wrestlers have done it in the past.
Yeah, Lesnar, not Baszler.
But either way, Shayna Baszler beats Ronda Rousey by technical submission.
And that is now rumored to be Ronda Rousey's final WWE match. As she has now basically stated that she has no other reason to stay around.
Mm-hmm. Next, we move on to a match for the Intercontinental Championship.
No.
As Gunther, formerly known as Walter, put his title on the line against Drew McIntyre.
This match was important for Gunther because a win here for Gunther would not guarantee, but virtually guarantee that Gunther will overtake the Honky Tonk Man as the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion.
Yes. All pressure was on Walter going into this match.
This was a hard-hitting contest, to put it lightly. I wouldn't quite say that this was as good as the match between Gunther and Sheamus at Clash of the Castle.
No.
But it was fairly close.
It was.
With multiple kickouts from moves, aka the Claymore and power bombs.
Yeah.
But finally, after I believe he was missing a Claymore.
Yeah.
And then being hit with a second power bomb, Gunther retained the Intercontinental Championship, surprisingly without any interference from the rest of Imperium.
Very, very surprising that was. I'm very shocked about that. Because I thought for sure there would have been some interference, but oh well, there wasn't.
And then,
now we have a match that has 2016 implications to it.
yes, Finn Balor again looking for revenge over Seth freaking Rollins for injuring him in the Universal Championship rematch, except this time it's for the World Heavyweight Championship 2.0.
Yes.
This was, in my opinion, better than the Money in the Bank match. Because I found that match to be a bit of a letdown.
It was a bit, but hey, they got this rematch done.
Hard hitting moves. In fact, Finn Balor actually did the buckle bomb move. That was the move that injured him at SummerSlam to begin with in 2016.
Yeah, it's a little bit of deja vu there.
And we had, of course, Damian Priest and the rest of Judgment Day show up.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it seems like Finn Balor, Damian Priest, thinks that he can just give the briefcase to Finn Balor.
And ultimately, it will be the briefcase that would cause another issue for Judgment Day in this match.
Yes, because whilst they were having, they would be having the distraction of the referee, Seth Rollins was able to hit the stomp on Finn Balor on top of the briefcase.
Seth Rollins then gets rid of the smoking gun, covers Finn Balor for the 1-2-3.
And then gets out of there before Priest has a chance to even attempt for cashing. So, pity that wouldn't happen for the next match.
As Bianca Belair and Charlotte aim to dethrone Asuka for the Women's Championship in a triple threat match.
Slight spoiler, which I hadn't quite realised, but I think I knew before going into this match. Charlotte had never lost a SummerSlam match.
No.
And this was what we expect for a triple threat match. Back and forth action in all three superstars. Near falls, being submission holds, covers being broken up. But towards the end of the match, like halfway through, maybe slightly later, they started to telegraph what was going to happen.
Yeah.
By having Bianca Belair supposedly injure her knee during the match. And then she was taken to the back, or was going to be taken to the back.
Yeah.
But came back and decided she was not going to get out of this match without putting up a final fight. And then the climax came when we found Charlotte putting the figure 8 onto Bianca Belair, who would be misted by Asuka to break that up.
Yeah.
And at this point, Asuka felt that she had the match won because of Bianca's injury. Except Bianca was able to roll up Asuka for the 3 count.
So, Bianca Belair is your new WWE Women's Champion.
Oh, for a couple of seconds, a couple of minutes, because following that match, here comes Io Sky.
Being coming to the ring by Bayley, who uses Io Sky's briefcase to take out Charlotte and Asuka on her way down to the ring.
Yes, and then they take out Bianca Belair and Io Sky with the Flying Sky. What's it called? Moonsault. Covers Bianca Belair to become the new WWE Women's Champion, and continues the tradition. Unlike the men's Money in the Bank, every single women's Money in the Bank winner to Io now has come on to win the Women's Championship and successfully cash in.
And now we move on to our main event, which was a Mortal Kombat. A tribal combat match for the undisputed Universal title and recognition of being the tribal for the Anoa'i family between Roman Reigns and Jey Uso.
Well, the first thing I noticed here, and it's something which has happened for a while, is that in the entrance of Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman is no longer carrying 2 titles.
And about time and all.
Because for a couple of weeks, I say a couple of weeks, when Roman Reigns could be bothered to show up, or something like that, he'd had the new championship which had been presented to him. But Paul Heyman would continue to carry around the Universal and WWE championships.
It makes no sense.
So these 2 cousins would go at it. For Superman punches, they would brawl into a crowd. Of course, Solo Sikoa decided to get involved. And then Jay would, a couple of times, hit Roman with spears.
He would.
Weapons, of course, would be legal in this match.
No disqualifications as well.
Jay would be able to neutralize Solo by putting him through the announce table, which has been put back together after Lesnar's little F5 earlier.
Yeah.
So then Jay speeds Roman in the ring.
Yeah.
Goes for the Uso splash. Hits it. Goes
1, 2.
And then he's pulled out of the ring by someone we don't see innocently, but is revealed to be his brother Jimmy.
Yes. Yes, you heard us right. Jimmy Uso.
Who basically kicks Jay. He goes back into the ring. Jay is then speared through a table by Roman Reigns, allowing Roman Reigns to retain the Universal Championship, Undisputed Championship.
Yes, and as Michael Cole once said, after everything that Jimmy's been through, why would he do it?
Well, if I was to hazard a guess, I would probably say that the storyline they're probably going to go with is the fact that Jimmy is jealous that he's never had the match for a singles championship like Jay has. Because I don't believe that that was done as a result of Jimmy going back to the bloodline. Considering the fact that it was Jimmy who super kicked Roman at Night of Champions.
So, let us run you through the SummerSlam card one more time.
In the opening match, Logan Paul defeated Ricochet.
In the second match, Cody Rhodes defeated Brock Lesnar.
LA Knight won the SummerSlam Battle Royal by lastly eliminating Sheamus.
Shayna Baszler defeated Ronda Rousey by technical submission in a MMA rules match.
Gunther retained the Intercontinental Championship by defeating Drew McIntyre.
Seth freaking Rollins defeated Finn Balor to retain the World Heavyweight Championship.
Bianca Belair defeated Asuka and Charlotte in a triple threat match to become the Women's Champion.
Only to be cashed in on by Io Shirai, now known as Io Sky, as Io Sky cashed in the Money in the Bank briefcase to win the Women's Championship from Bianca Belair.
And with a bit of outside interference, Roman Reigns defeated Jey Uso to retain the Undisputed Universal Championship and continue to be recognized as the Tribal Chief.
So that about does it for the biggest party of the summer. Our next pay-per-view will be a returning pay-per-view as WWE brings us back some Payback.
Yes, but before that, we will be switching companies.
Yes, which we will not name on this show. But until then, he's been
Lisa Jones, and he's been
John Randy Smith, and we will see you soon for our next WWE pay-per-view, which will be Payback.